Hey, what's up? Welcome to RPG Revolver. What the long pause is for.
That awkward pause.
Some people would call that a pregnant pause.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, because you'd be expecting something, right? Yes, is that where that comes from?
Disappointed.
Yeah, probably a little bit. No, thanks for tuning back in. Sorry about last episode with some technical and DM difficulties.
I don't know if that's going to be a whole episode, but between 3 and now, it might just be a clip at the end of what we dealt with, or previously on at the beginning of this one. I'm not sure, but it was rough.
There's a lot of usable material.
Sorry. That's my fault.
Look, we all had to live through it once. I will have to live through it twice. I'm not going to put that on an unsuspecting populace.
Right. If you want to see it, we might be able to put it up on Patreon. No, I'm just kidding.
Just straight up Patreon. Yeah.
It'll be on the Mascus playlist.
Unedited.
Yeah. For some reason, Patreon just sent us a bill this month.
What?
Yeah.
A drunken Matt bill.
Sorry.
Yeah, it
was bad. Sorry, Toker. I shall strive to do better. I hope to be better when I grow up. Anyway, my wife says I'm running out of time on that. What's that?
Are you striving to be better at drinking and getting drunk, or
just being a better person all around as I get older?
Well, baby steps, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Have I told y'all that I will be a grandpa?
What?
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
Your son was like 10.
What? One of my sons is 10. One of my sons is 26.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, 26.
And he's out there having sex without a condom?
Jesus Christ.
With his wife, no less. That's weird.
Gross.
So, So come April, I will be, I'll be Grandpa Matt. I don't know.
Papa.
We're trying to figure out.
Are you going to be a grampy?
I don't know.
Papa.
I don't know. People
really embrace the South Carolina address you have. We just go with
my great grandfather. He was Papaw. That's what we call it. We had Papaw and Meemaw. That's Tennessee. That was Tennessee right there. My grandmother hated that, and she would never be called anything other than grandmother. That was it.
Grandmother.
So
I had Grandma A and Grandma N, but my parents are Grammy and Grampy.
That's Grammy. You have lesbian. What?
My parents are Grammy and Grampy.
Oh, Grampy. I didn't hear that last P. That's what confused. I've never met your parents. So I didn't know.
Thought you were giving out music.
Yes, you
awards.
have.
They
were at my wedding, as were you.
Oh.
We were all there.
Yeah, I was there. I remember.
It's most of it.
There were parts of it. I got home safely.
Yes, how much do you remember from last week?
I'll be honest. A little bit. I remember some of the frustrations, and I remember enough that I failed pretty badly.
Don't drink in DM, but if you do, drink to forget.
Yeah, well, that's what I was doing, and I was drinking. I mean, I should have held off on the 100 proof spiced rum a little bit. Yeah,
yes,
I like it.
On that,
it's like my inner pirate.
Kevin, I briefly met your father once, but I don't have an image of him on my brain. All I can see is Tom Anderson from Beavis and Butthead. Is that close, sir?
Actually, yes. That is very close.
Boy's been a whacking in my tool shed.
Whacking in my tool shed.
I have zero recollection of your father at all, or Grammy. either one of those. So anyway,
the lesbian grandmother you have.
I thought you said Grammy and Grammy or Grammy and Grammy. That's what he said. So that's what I was like. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. I mean, it's fine. Yeah. That works. There was some other questions I was going to have to follow up with that, but
100-year-old lesbian couple. That's not new.
That's pretty much what Walter was popular.
They made a Netflix show about that.
Did they really?
Well, they weren't 100, but they
were over 40.
Frankie, and
Grace and Frankie, but they're not lesbians. Their husbands, their husbands were gay and ended up marrying each other. So they were like just
their
doing
roommates
their things. Yeah, they're roommates. But yeah,
that's not the same at all.
No, their husbands were gay. I knew there was homosexuality somewhere in the comedy.
The homosexuality.
At least you pinpointed that.
Plus, everyone knows how girls are when they sleep over. Everybody knows that.
All girls are a little gay, right?
A little bit.
With enough wine.
So are dudes.
Yeah,
probably. That's what I was going to say. Is I feel like all people.
A little bit.
I think that was Terrence's game when he was younger.
What? Anyway. You made me sound like some sort of big hunter.
Voodoo.
I'm not bringing those stories up again. I've told them on here before.
I think they're on episodes. They're on 18 episodes of this broadcast.
Episodes 26,
well documented.
144. Yeah.
Well documented. And by the way, if Toker does end up editing out most of last week, and you still like to see me at my best, you could just go watch our first season. Pretty much every night of me getting tanked, and Frank's yelling at me. That was always great too. So, but anyway, y'all ready to get back into the tower's secret?
I guess.
Okay.
We have to.
No. I can just tell you what happens.
I've got a tagline in my head about before we get into it. It's somehow it's like drink responsibly but without responsibility. That's something in there. Drink without responsibility would be first season Matt. DM Matt should be drink responsibly without responsibility, which should remind you I've got programs to run. Maybe not the 100 proof rum would be the alcohol of choice.
Only when you're in the passenger seat, not when you're in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Maybe knock down to say 50 proof or lower.
Yeah. I just like it a lot.
Flavored vodkas.
Have you tried weed?
Yeah, there's some stories there too.
Speaking of taglines, that should be one for the show.
Have you tried weed? I like that. I like it. And I would be like this. I'd be like Kevin at the end of most of our shows. Oh man. All right, let's rock and roll back into this. Last time, from what I remember, we had our party had made it into the room where the babies were, and were able to not all of them were babies. Some of them kind of dissolved and disappeared as they tried to pick them up, but they were able to find 4. And also learn a little bit more about the tower and about how this old man, this ancient, had told y'all that he had kind of set everything up. This was for your benefit, for the townspeople's benefit, and he thought you all fools for rocking against it. Not sure y'all all believed him or not, but that's his pitch. As he leads you through that, but ever since you picked up that last child, the last baby, they're still asleep. The mummified being that's been kind of hovering up above there. Two things have been happening: that mummy, and then there's the shadowy cloud that's been kind of building in the southern part of the room. It's actually a great shadow that's kind of was on the ceiling, and it's dripping from the ceiling like water. It looks like a shadow, but it's drip, like I say, it's moving like a liquid and pooling on the floor, and kind of encasing that whole area in a sort of darkness again. But as the old ancient man kind of finishes talking, as he does that, the mummified, what's that? The being that's kind of there in the north, that's hovering above you, that's about 12, 15 feet tall. Its mouth opens and water begins to pour out of it. Its eyes open and you hear a scream, which is weird from the eyes, but it opens its eyes and it begins to scream, and then water begins to pour out of its eyes as well and keep pouring. This begins to kind of move around the floor, so y'all are all kind of standing in a little bit of water. And as you do this, you hear a cry from the south. And we can go to the map if we're not already there.
Yep. We're on the map.
Okay. And within that pool of water, it's like as that emerging from that shadowy pool that's been dripping from the ceiling is a very large, watery, it looks like it's made from water creature that's kind of rising up out of that pool down there, and with it kind of a wave of water. It's a good 6-7 inches, and it just kind of flows upwards towards you and keeps flowing, and it keeps rising a little bit, very slowly, but it's like a wave about 6 inches or so that kind of flows its way towards you. I feel like your movement's not too impeded by it, but it's definitely, I mean, you're going to be fighting in that water. That makes sense. Gully, once that creature roars like that, Gully feels almost like he's drawn to it. He feels like a kinship to it, or he feels like it's his friend, and there's it's almost like a voice inside your head telling you to come to it. And I'm going to need you to give me a will save.
Would this will save be a delicate task?
No.
Wisdom's not bad. Okay. 8 under 14.
Okay, so you make it. So you're able. You start to take a step towards it, and as you do, you kind of stop yourself. You kind of shake your head and kind of wake up a little bit, and you stop yourself, and you feel the effects of it kind of wash away from you at that point, that drawing of that. And the beast screams again, and you also turn. If y'all were to look north, you will see that the old man is not there anymore.
I see him.
He danced his way right off the screen, huh?
So he danced right off the screen. The mummy there is continuing to. The mummy there is continuing with its eyes and its mouth open. It's still pouring water out into the room as well.
Well, okay.
So what do you do?
I don't know. Is this monster attacking us, or are we just going to leave with these babies?
It's screaming. It's still coming up out of the water.
Is there any kind of like intelligence or wisdom check we could do to know what kind of creature this is?
Sure. Yeah, I would say intelligence or wisdom. Wisdom would be, I would think, maybe you've experienced or seen something like that. And intelligence would be just, your knowledge of that. And Gully, I'll let you have an advantage on that, because where you, and then it'll make more sense later why you would have that.
Nope, a 16 and a 17.
If you're not sure what it is, it's just a giant watery creature that looks terrifying.
Valentine rolled a 6 under 8.
Okay, Valentine, do you know that it looks like something you've heard of before and it's been described to you before by some of the lake people. It is called a water weird.
Well, I tell everybody.
WYRD.
Do I know anything about them? I rolled a 2 under 15.
Oh.
Yes. Let me get to that.
Do we know if this thing hungers for dwarven flesh and we can all just sit safely knowing that Kevin's... Oh, no, you're not a dwarf anymore. He died. Orc flesh?
Yeah.
Man flesh.
Man flesh.
Looks like dinner's back on the menu, guys. We've got man flesh.
Okay, so you know that the water weird has some interesting properties. Has something that, and this is something that Erasmus knows. It can, if it hits you, you have to do a strength test, or you could be possibly pulled underwater. So it can basically grab you. When it hits you, it can grab you and push you down into the water. Now it's a little bit deeper near the creature, close to a foot deep. It's not very deep, but it's definitely a little deeper. And I'm gonna give you guys advantage on that if that happens, just because you're not in a lake or an ocean where it would normally be. But it can hold you underwater and possibly drown you. Other than that, it's just it is not a normally this one appears to be larger than ones you've seen, but it's hard to tell with them because they could vary in size and not really be any more powerful or less powerful than a smaller one.
Get the babies out of here. I got this. And I'm going to hop up on one of those floating vanilla beans and peg this bitch with some pork belly.
Looks like some rice.
Okay. So you're attacking?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you all a surprise round basically, where you can move, I'll let y'all, move somewhere and attack if you want to, while this thing is still coming up out of the water.
All right. Well, then
I'm still forming.
Whenever, let me know when I can do my thing.
Oh yeah.
So you need to roll. And it's a +3 to hit it.
+3 to hit it.
Yeah, then I definitely missed. I rolled 2 18s.
Yeesh.
So
You missed. So your little burnt pieces of food, they hit the water. They kind of, but it seems to be carried away by the churning of the water as it's coming up and the shadowy water that's pouring still down.
I rolled a 5, and that would grant me 11 damage.
Okay, 11 damage.
As I bring my axe down upon its forming claw.
Okay. Holy crap.
Do I have to add the +3 to cast magic?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know.
It's a +3 because I've got it. It should be a level 4 creature. I've got it kind of scaled back to a level 3. So that's what I'm having y'all do. But I think if anything, it's not 3 then, because it's for every one that's over.
So 1.
Is that right? Yes, I'm wrong there. It's just 1 over. Yeah, it's just 1 + 1. Sorry about that. So if a monster is more powerful than you, you add 1 for every level that it's above you. Yeah, so it's just +1.
Yeah, okay. Well, then even with the +1, I managed to cast a magic missile at it.
Okay.
For 9 damage.
Damn. All right.
And Valentine runs up and slashes at it with her sword. That's a 8 with the +1 under 15. To hit for 14 damage. Right?
Oh,
no, wait. That's wrong. That's the wrong thing. It's D6.
it's going to be a higher number this time. Watch.
No, I rolled D8s.
Yes.
I'm supposed to roll D6s. That's 7 damage.
Oh.
So there.
I thought you did it the other way around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's everybody went?
Yep.
Okay, roll initiative.
Because we are only still second level, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Before.
I rolled a 12 over 11. So after.
Valentine.
Before.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I will.
All right.
I'm just flinging more chunky bits of this is biscuit that's been in my pocket for 2 weeks.
So gross.
7 under 14.
All right.
So he'll take, pretty sure it's 2d6 plus 2. Yes. 9 to 11 damage.
Damn it. Y'all are killing me. Okay. Who's next?
I'll go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just doing the same thing as before, casting magic missile at it.
All right.
Which I do, barely, and for 6 damage.
Okay. And Valentine.
And Valentine slashes again. 11 under 15 for 4 damage.
All right, and it gets to go. I didn't know if it was gonna make it, but it made it. I gotta really adjust these a little bit, I think. But
Yeah, you don't have to tell us that. Just give it more hit points.
It steps forth as it fully forms out of the water, and it is. I'm not gonna move it. I'm just gonna let y'all imagine where it's going. So it steps out, and it's gonna take a slash at. So you did the most damage to it. I think it'll go after the pink one there. Is that Valentine?
That's a me.
All right, it's gonna go after Valentine.
And it's gonna hit me.
Oh yay!
Because I rolled 8. I still have to add to my defense as well, right? The +1.
Yes.
Yeah. Either way, it was 17
That's
on the
pretty
die.
much everything.
So no matter how you're attacking me, you got it.
All right, it does 13 damage.
I'ma use a die. I'm using one of those dies to negate that. Please and thank you.
I'm still gonna need a strength test because I think it's still got a hold of you, even if you didn't feel the blunt of it.
And this is the one that I get advantage on, yeah?
I'm gonna give you all advantage because it's not. Like I say, the water's about a foot deep there.
All right.
For now.
Just made it. 14.
All right.
Under
so you're able to kind of fight it off. It's still got a hold of you, and you're able to fight it off though, and still keep your head above the water there as it rants and rages at you. So, and as far as I know, this thing only gets one go. So, all right, and that would be
all right.
That would be its go.
I go after the monster.
Yep. So that's you.
I'm gonna try. Is it still holding on to Valentine, or has it?
Yeah, it's got. You have to imagine it doesn't have like 2 arms and 2 legs. It's a force of water, and so there's a part of the water that's just like pushing against her.
Well, I'm gonna swing in order to hopefully chop off the supply of water that is directly assaulting my traveling companion here.
Okay.
I roll a 7 under 14.
All right.
And 7 damage.
Okay. I feel like it didn't seem to bother the creature as much, but you're able to disturb the water enough that it kind of just splashes over her, and the appendage doesn't reform over her. So you essentially accomplish what you set out to do.
Sweet.
On that. All right. So everybody initiative again.
Before.
Before.
Natural 1. Sweet. Before.
Gets to go before twice.
Right. Everybody goes before. So who wants to go?
Chunky,
I got natural 1. I'm taking it.
Go for it.
All right.
What are y'all doing with the babies right now? Y'all still holding babies?
I got like 2 babies on one arm, and I'm casting spells with the other.
Yeah, like I don't have a
bag.
baby on me at the moment.
Oh, okay.
I'll do off immediately.
Yeah, I never had a baby.
So they just sprawled out on the floor behind us.
In the water. Babies can drown in only 2 inches of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dumb babies. We only want to save the smart ones.
It's a physical disability. They do not have the ability to get themselves out of water. Not that they don't want to, or no, they need to be.
I thought it was because they were face down and didn't know how to roll over. Like that's.
You can't babysit my grandchild. It's not gonna happen.
Don't wanna.
All right, so I just make it with another magic missile. Like,
all right, light it up
out here. Max damage for 12.
Oh my god. Okay. Who's next?
I'll go. And that's an 11 under for 4 damage. Slash.
Very good.
All right, my turn. I charge in and take a swipe at its the main body. 4 under 14. 12 damage.
Good God. All right.
I thumb a piece of biscuit up and catch it in the sling while it's in the air. And you can hear the whistle of the sling. As I sling it, 3 on the die for a hit. And let's see if the damage matches that description. Right in the middle. 8.
Hey, that's pretty good. All right. Is that everybody?
I think so.
So monsters go as y'all beat and batter it. You see, much like what Kevin, what's your new character's name?
It's Brian Jones.
Brian, yeah. Much like Brian saw with cutting through the kind of the watery appendage, you see other appendages break off and then try to reform, and you see a gush of that shadowy water on the ceiling kind of pour down into it. Kind of looks like it revitalizes it a little bit, but this time it lashes out and try to crashes past both he's trying to get away from these melee attackers basically around it, and so they're gonna rush. It's gonna move, I guess that's Erasmus. It's gonna move to Erasmus there on the right, closest ranged attacker, and just kind of in a rage head over that way and try to attack him.
Defend, Erasmus.
Oh,
Defend yourself.
Sorry. Let's see. This is a melee attack?
Yes.
All right, I rolled 7 under 12, so I dodge out of the way.
You're able to make it. As it swings at you, you see that the kind of the appendage that it kind of swings down at you, it misses and it kind of breaks off in a way and just kind of splashes into the water there at your feet, and the creature's noticeably diminished in size from where it was when it was attached to the other water there at the southern end. The shadowy water and at the southern end is also starting to kind of dissipate. And initiative.
Second.
Before.
After.
Before.
All right. 2 befores. Go ahead.
I'll go. I swing and a miss.
All right.
You have to give it a description. This time. You have to do the description before you roll. You can't backtrack and then make it successful. Watch, I'll show you how it's done. You I flick out these grapes have been in my pocket so long they're now hard raisins, and those go into the, the sling, and I sling them out, and I also miss.
Sweet meat snow.
No.
No.
Raisins are no good.
The creature, having just still in a fit of rage, tries to take another swing at Erasmus.
Oh boy.
Defend.
I rolled a 2. I dodge again.
2 is another appendage drops off of it, and its body seems to drift away, diminish even further. Something some of you notice, it appears to be brighter in the getting kind of brighter in the room. All right, the afters.
I'll follow up with a spell attack then. I only have one attack spell. I roll it. And I mess up, so I've lost all my attacks for the turn for the rest of the encounter.
Damn it! All right, Brian, you're up.
All right, it's getting brighter in the room. Is there a length of water that seems to be attaching to the shadow thing?
So
I can strike at and free this, whatever this thing is, from the shadow.
So it there is you kind of notice that you kind of focused on it. There's a thin thread. It is, very thin, like a thread or a ribbon, that you kind of catch out of the corner of your eye, just as a distortion or something that's stretching from that shadow over to the creature.
Well, that's what I'm attacking, that thin thread.
All right, I'm gonna make you do a +4 on that, because it is, you're gonna have to kind of jump up in the water to kind of reach it.
I rolled a 13 under 14, but with the +4 I miss. But I will alert the group to what I see.
Yeah, you guys see Brian, like, instead of attacking the creature, he's like jumping up in the air and kind of like that.
Classic Brian.
So, but he draws your attention to that.
No, the thread hit the shadow thread.
All right, and initiative.
Okay.
After.
Natural.
After.
All right, Gully.
This time I've got two slings.
Oh God! You going after the creature? You're gonna try to hit that thread with a chicken bone.
Which one's more dangerous, the creature or the thread?
I don't know.
Yeah,
the thread seems to be attached to. It seems to be stretched out to the ceiling and then attached to that creature. It's a very dark, shadowy-looking, ominous thread. As scary as sewing can be, it is.
I'm going to attack the creature. The thread's too scary to attack. You've described it too well.
Yeah. You guys have got to roll panic just looking at it.
I definitely hit the creature.
Okay. Do it.
10 damage.
That's pretty good.
I know it is.
It screams at you, and you see it's down to about the size of a person now. It's more of a medium-sized creature versus a big gargantuan water spirit. At this, the creature tries to flee north, and as the room has gotten brighter, you'll notice there's a door there. It's shut. It looks ajar on the map. Ignore that. It is shut, but it's heading that way. And the afters.
I'm going to take another swing at that thread. Eight, and then it's a +4, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's 12 under 4.
You hit it.
Under 14.
Okay.
So I hit it.
So, you jump up with what kind of weapon do you have?
an axe.
You jump up with your the sword is the exact same character. So you jump up with your axe and come down. It hits the thread. It resists more than you anticipated. Like when you slice into it, it's almost like it almost what's the word? Reverberates you or
okay.
Yeah, almost like that. And then you hear it's a twang, just like you'd hear like a tight thread, like a guitar string or some type of lute or something, a string break, and it's just like, and it bursts. When it does, there's a force that kind of blows you backwards, and you go skidding across the room on your back through the water. And the creature, you hear it scream again, and the creature just explodes. It's just water, just everywhere. The shadow in the ceiling. It doesn't explode, but it seems like it recoils and starts to dissipate back into the ceiling. At this point, there's about 3 feet of water around where the shadow was, and it kind of grades down to about a foot that's over there near where the northern door is. Other than that, there's nothing else in the room.
Well, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Let's take these babies.
Yeah, get those babies. Let's go.
I mean, I already blasted the shit out of that mummy last session. Not of the
mummy, as during the combat, as it continued to pour water, at some point it basically crumbled to dust into the water at that point. So it's basically no longer there. The orb and everything, those things are still floating there, although the light within them has gone dim. The babies, as you start to move towards an exit, whichever exit you choose, the babies begin to cry. It's not a painful cry. It's the cry of need, of wanting to be held, of wanting to be fed. It's a normal baby cry. They've been sleeping this whole time.
I cast summon breasts.
The eye of Odin.
18 titties fall out. I just see your whole arm is just nipples. It's just like
nipple fingers. It's just like the hot dog fingers from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, don't say hot dogs. Anytime we see hot dogs in this show, it makes me think of noob.
Teats of Benevolence by it's a spell for the dog god. So I just grow 6.
So you can check the doors to the north. You can try to go back out through the weird dark place to the east that y'all came in from. The door there is still open.
The door to the
north. To the north.
All right, it's closed. I'm just gonna try to open it.
Well, we're well below street level, right? Like,
y'all came down. I forget how many flights of stairs.
Far, wasn't it?
A long way.
It was a long way. All right. So yeah, somebody open this door.
Okay. You all approach the door, and there's a big giant rings on it. This is a double door, 10 feet wide on each side, and there's some pretty big rings on there. And so you clasp those rings, and you pull. It takes a couple of you because it's a pretty heavy door, and then there's like a foot of water you're trying to displace, and you get the door open, and as it cracks, as the door kind of breaches, sunlight pours in. Bright sunlight, and you hear not the cries of battle. It's loud, and what you have mistaken for a while now, you realize that the cries were actually of joy, of celebration. As you open the doors out, and before you is a grand balcony that stretches out about 30 to 40 feet from the tower. As y'all step out on it, you realize that you're near the top of the tower on a balcony overlooking the town.
You're welcome. We saved the day.
Below you, it appears. If you look around, you can look down below. You can see the townspeople on the bridge. Most of them are celebrating. You see a few of the Crimson Guard. You can kind of make out their little bodies as they're lying around on the ground. There's a lot of townspeople, city folk lying around on the ground too. The tower's doors down there appear to be shut, and there's no more Crimson Guard around. It's like for all intents and purposes, looks like the the townspeople drove them back into the tower, or from what you can tell, it looks like the battle's over down there. While you were talking, or while y'all are kind of looking around trying to get your bearings, the old man appears again, kind of beside you, and he's outside now with you, but close to the door. And while he's out here, he looks less opaque, I guess. He's very incorporeal, almost translucent. And then out here in the sun, you can kind of see that more. Where in the shadow of the tower, he seemed to be much more substantial. As he talks to you, he says, "So, this was never one of the towers that we thought would fall. Honestly, you idiots had it pretty good. One of the side effects of the tower was quite beneficial to you. Although the drawback of having really bad times for a couple of years and having to take your children was obviously not ideal, but for all intents and purposes, it worked very well. You realize that will cease now. And are you ready for what is to come?"
Sure.
For this tower, as he's talking, the water from inside that room, there was a lot of water in there, and the water's like running out of the tower to the door that you guys opened and pouring down the sides of the tower, running down to the base of it as the tower kind of empties of all that water. And it looks very much just like regular water there, as it kind of pours down. Let's let me find my notes. So as he explains, and he's standing there, out of the corner of y'all's eyes, since y'all seen this before, it's a little more noticeable now. You see another one of those threads attached to the old man, or the ancient, standing there. You have any questions for him, or what do you guys want to do? He seems to be talkative. Okay.
How do we get out of this dump?
Oh, go back the way you came. Back up the stairs as they are.
There's not a
hope you realize by now.
This.
Yeah, sure. It's right there. It's very fast, quick, even. It may be better for you if you did that. But no, as you probably realize, this is the tower, one of the towers of water, and the one that is the towers of water's illusion. So much of the tower is that, and it will remain that, for that power is still here. But what was in the tower is no longer in there.
Well, good.
Very good. So you can go out. You cut the thread?
Yeah.
Okay. So you cut the thread, and you see the old man kind of grin at you a little bit as he dissipates, fades away.
So I cut it. I said, my dad's a kind of big deal around here. We don't need you.
There you go.
I don't have to live in this town. If it starts to get shitty, I'll move.
So as the water pours out of the temple, it continues. It's going to take a while for all that water to kind of drain out of there on its own. You guys make your way back up the stairs. It's much brighter in there now. It looks much less scary. It's just kind of a cave, but you still have the sense of you're going up, but it's like, I'll say this, like the muscles in your legs that are normally you feel being used to go up are not being used, and it's more kind of the backs of your muscles, those the hamstrings or whatever they are, that you would feel more when you were going down. So it's a very illusionary place, but you make it out. While you guys make it out to the town, everybody's super excited. Y'all do find you find Jack's wife, who's crying over his body, unfortunately, and but she is ecstatic that y'all were able to save, because one of those babies was hers, and it might take some time to find the parents of the other three, but y'all did well in saving them. Over the course of the next week or two, the water from the tower, part of that water just through the streets, just through the city drains, out through little brooks and creeks, and into rivers, and eventually all the way to the Haircroft Lake. And as it moves into that lake, if if you're awake at this time, it's in the wee hours of the morning, probably 4 or 5, just before sunup. If you were awake at this time and
is that my
conscious,
lake?
Yeah,
I'll be out there on the Happy Hooker.
He'll be out there on the Happy Hooker on the lake. Good, yeah. So anyone out on the lake would definitely feel this as that water kind of merges with the lake water, and it takes a little while. But there's definitely it feels like an earthquake. The ground's shaking. It's a minor one. Some of the people awake may feel it. If you're out on the water, you definitely the waves. You get swells that are not normal for a lake. As if something great has been disturbed or something's moved or something, a large animal or something's going past you. But you definitely feel that on the boat. The next morning, an old codger down there by the lake goes out to sit by the lake as he's done for the last 40 years and drink his coffee and just peer out over the lake. And as he does, he steps down to where his chair is and he steps into water. Not a lot of water. It's maybe an inch, just a small amount. But he knows that in his whole life, the water has never been there at all. And that's where we leave it.
All right.
Bum, bum, bum.
That is the secret of the tower.
I've never seen a puddle there.
No, it's the lake water, the shoreline. I mean, the water.
The lake's never been this high before.
This high up before, so
there's extra water in that there lake.
Absolutely.
Spooky water. Okay, I'll stop.
I'll give you a little bit of lore about this world, and there's 27 of these towers. Each tower has a different element, and
you're gonna name each one of them?
No. Yes, wait. I'll wait for everyone to get a pen and paper. But so this particular tower, although it had some benefits and drawbacks, it was imprisoning a certain being in it, and we'll call him Delvin. So
Delvin the Wet.
We'll see what happens if we ever return here. It'll be years later.
When we play
years later. If you ever want to.
For Melvin.
I think we'll have some higher level characters, a little bit higher level coming back to this, because that was basically a piece of it, keeping the other part asleep. So, but anyway, thanks for sticking with me through this. I know it's been a little bit rough at times. Hopefully it wasn't too bad.
A rough beginning, a really rough middle, but a smooth ending.
All right, that's what I like. I like that on the toilet and a lot of other places, so it's good.
Well, you got to break it up more than that. The hurricane and technical issues really screwed us up for session 0, and then the next week was a lot of fun, and then the week after that first hour was a lot of fun, and then
it quickly descended.
Yeah,
we're doing this for you.
Not that I've never jammed drunk before. But I have the good grace to fall asleep while doing it, so just letting you know.
Yeah, I just well, I appreciate y'all's patience and your grace.
I've GM'd and gotten mad and just quit because things weren't working
the
way I'd planned. Oh yeah.
Nothing I planned for. Almost nothing worked out the way I planned, except for the stuff that I just strong armed.
Yeah, I had this whole campaign built around this big boss and Jeff from Raiders of the Lark. Basically one-shotted it as soon as it showed up, and I got real in my feels about it. And I just stood up from the table. I went, the monster's dead. I grabbed my smokes and I went outside and smoked, and I didn't come back in until they left.
Let me tell you,
I was fucking mad. And then there was this time where I had these 2 werewolves show up in Savage World, and Jeff, Raiders of the Lark, he one-shotted them, and I just turned the Zoom call off. I was
in the middle of Raiders of the Lark.
No, this was before we started recording.
You're not running that. That's right. That's Harrison's running that one.
No, Jeff is he's a power gamer, and sometimes he throws some stuff on you. You're just like, all right, I'm out. I'm done. You win. You win this game.
Power there should be no winners. Gamers. He's so bad.
He's just like,
And then, I could have easily been like, well, the monster has more hit points, or there's more than one werewolf or whatever. But inside, I knew that he had won already, and it drained all the enjoyment out of it for me at that point.
Well,
it beat you.
In Jeff's defense, because I'm pretty sure he listens to.
I don't want to hear that, Kevin.
Everything we put out.
I don't want you to defend Jeff.
I think he has gotten better and has gone way more skills monkey focused than kill it in one shot guy.
Jeff will always be the gamer that has a character that has an answer for most things.
Yeah,
he can't help it, and there's not a problem with that. It's just, as a game master, I had to learn he's that dude, and to roll with it. But I'll build this thing up where there's this big bad, just world-ending monster. And Jeff goes, well, I do this and this and this, and it's 118 damage. And I'm like, all right, well, that was your weapons bypass DR. Oh, yeah, no, remember I coded them with the thing beforehand, and I've got the intelligent whatever, so like it bypasses resistance for that. And I'm just like, yep, nope, it's dead. Oh, well, you didn't have to kill it. You could have said it had more hit points. And I go, no, but I knew. Yeah. I knew you killed it. And I'm going to go outside and smoke. Y'all just sitting here and do nothing.
Was I in there? I don't know. I feel like that stuff always passed me by. Like, it would just happen and everybody would be mad. And I would just be looking around like from drawing and going, what's going on?
Yeah, playing Magic over there by yourself, sitting in the game with us. That's always my thing. So everybody ready to play D&D, and Terrence says, yep. He pulls out one sheet of paper with his character sheet and then 8 boxes of Magic. He just starts making Magic decks.
I'm not saying I'm the best player in the world. In fact, I will gleefully tell you, I'm a much better GM than I am a player. I'm kind of the worst, honestly.
I think both of y'all are very good at DMing games. I always enjoy that a lot. And I would say this: it was a little bit intimidating doing this with y'all on here, but I'm glad you were, because I would appreciate some of the feedback, and I think that's been helpful. And I definitely want to do it again. So maybe we'll do like an Equestrian Tales saga or something.
I'll try to deliver. I'll try to deliver advice without threats of bodily harm next time.
No, I accept all forms of advice, including bodily harm. Is fine. I feel like, though, I think with the Equestrian Tales, I feel like there's a brony market out there that we can really tap into that's not really being served with the podcast and stuff. So,
are you sure you want those subs? All right, whatever. Yeah. We'll take them.
Yeah, we'll take them. We'll take them.
They call them muskies or something? Are they muskies?
Long as they, as long as they come join the Patreon. We'll take them.
Yeah, brony's always like Patreon.
Look, if they can afford those giant costumes, we're not talking about. I'm talking about furries.
I'm talking about furries.
We're talking about bronies.
I wouldn't mind courting furries, like if we did Albedo or one of those classic furry-based RPGs. But like, I don't know, bronies is a whole different.
The fact that you know one off the rip.
I mean, once I get into a hobby, I get very deep into it. I look into a lot of facets, man.
You were a brony?
It took me like a year to know literally everything about Doctor Who. No, I've never been into like that.
Oh.
But like RPGs, you're not wearing that one pineapple T-shirt. You're
I knew I should have changed.
What animal are you, Terrence?
Polecat. Sure.
Polecat.
That's an old-timey animal if I've ever heard one. You're the first person I ever heard say that. The person I ever heard say it most was my grandmother, and we called her Grandma, not the one that we called Nanny. Bringing it all back. Okay, goodbye.
Well, maybe we're not done talking, Mahogany.
Yeah, we are. Okay, bye.
She said we are.
Yes, we're done.
So we're out. So anyway, try out, if you're out there, try out Black Hack. It's definitely a fun system. I utilized a part of it. There's a ton of stuff in there, a lot of cool stuff for starting out DMing, and I read through a lot of it, which helped some. And definitely, if you need some random encounter stuff, they've got roll charts or whatever they're called for everything in there. It's pretty wild. It's a good system. It's a fun system. It's easy to pick up and easy to play. Hopefully, y'all had fun. I feel like for me, I had to modify every monster because I don't understand the hit point situation at all. Like that. That creature was a level 4. And it would have had 4d6 of hit points. So that's what is that, 32? Right? 24 anyway. Y'all did like 95 damage to it. And
this game is built for fighting a lot of monsters.
That's what I think. Maybe I need to build it up a little bit. But anyway, so that's probably on my end. I enjoyed it a lot. It's a lot of fun, so definitely pick it up and try it. And hopefully we'll run it again here sometime too. So, but thanks for watching.
And now, dung beetles.
The South Carolina dung beetle, also known locally as the poop scoopers. Look at that face. They're going to town on that. Close. The dookie beetle. The dookie beetle makes its home in the marshlands of the South Carolina swamp. I've seen that many of them.